all of a sudden we were brought live, and the next thing we know, we're not. I'm almost guessing that probably 3WA hijacked, being severely pissed off that Joe Rivers won the United States Championship. But we're going to get back underway in this triple threat, ladies and gentlemen.
Can you confirm this thing's back on?
Oh, we're going to hope that this thing's back on. We will look back on to see if this is back on. Let me check my network advisory.
Here's that it is, ladies and gentlemen. CFT and Ryan Steele, the greatest manager and the greatest wrestler of all time, joining J.R. Murphy.
I can confirm that we are live again.
The show must go on.
Regardless of 3WA trying to sabotage and hijacking the network we were just on, we will continue on with this show.
I figure after this we're going to have to give the production crew a lecture in network security.
Exactly, that's what we're going to have to do, but we will save that for the end of the show, unless 3WA decides that they want to hijack us again.
Luther Williams, though, that dead stare in the ring right now, no one can really see it right now, but Luther Williams, it's like he's been staring down these two men during the entire broadcast interruption, like nonstop. You saw it. He's just been dead staring at these guys.
He really, oh dear God! And then he just picks him up Axel Cage up as if just him leveling the competition. Imagine this getting down to just those two men.
I'll tell you what really sucks right now is there. Some difficulties with my monitor. I wonder why Joe Rivers just doesn't want me to watch this.
I don't know. Maybe he's rubbing in your face that Megalo brought home a 3WA championship, and there you see Williams just running rough.
Tossing Axel Cage.
And he is, and that's what he's done to most of his opponents. And again, just like, nope, we're not having none of you today.
And he sends Brock Graves outside the ring. Axel trying to fight Luther, but very, very ineffective. Let's put it that way.
And as we're just seeing the strength of Williams just throwing these men around that way.
It's nothing.
Exactly. They're just ragdolls or toys that they're being thrown around like they're cruiserweights. And they're not. They're well over 240 some odd pounds, 300.
Brock Graves is in the 300-pound range, is he not?
I believe he weighs in about 320.
And Luther's tossing this man around, everybody. Keep that in mind. And did you see Axel stack the two up? That was a pretty cool spot.
I mean, considering the men that he's up against.
Luther is down, can probably take down Brock Graves. Remember the triple threat advantage. You don't have to pin the champion to win the title.
That is correct. And we got to.
I mean, if you were in the ring right now, would you actually be gunning for Luther Williams, or would you be trying to pin the other guy? I would be going after the other guy.
100% be going to the other guy. And if I couldn't go one-on-one with the other one right away, I would make sure I worked with one of my opponents to take out Luther.
Also, I thought I would mention this, since I'm the NGW head of talent relations. I just got to Mick Plowden, the president of NGW. He says hello to the Megalo world, and I wonder what his thoughts are on the broadcast interruption by his colleague, Jacob Justice.
I wonder what his thoughts of that are, too. And look at Brock just picking up Luther and just dropping him quickly.
He went for that rear super kick. I know I'm a little bit behind. I'm going to point that out anyway. And Axl Rose just doesn't want any of it because Luther Williams has educated feet. Let's put it that way.
I'm sorry, did you just call him Axl Rose?
I reckon I did. Welcome to the jungle, everybody. Megalo is the jungle. You know where you are? You're at the Megalo 1-year anniversary, baby.
Just make sure next time you try to hijack my broadcast, CFT, that you know exactly who's in the ring. Because That just made you look like what Rivers thinks you are is dumb. Just trying to save you here a little bit. And there's a cross pace that...
Well, if Axl Rose is here, I bet if we put a hat on Luther Williams, he would look like Slash.
He very well might. And we just seen that Luther just tossing Cage, dropping him right on his face across his knee.
Not Axl Rose, Axl Cage.
And like... Just look at the pure strength of Williams, just lifting and European uppercutting Graves.
What's more impressive is this isn't a handicap match, it's a triple threat match, but Cage and Graves are treating it like a handicap match.
Exactly, they are. And as we
they almost have to, because, you know, you got Luther Williams is, 300 pounds? You're going to have to work with your opponent on somebody like that.
Graves is too, but Luther Williams has uncanny strength.
And as you've seen that Luther almost had Brock Graves beat with that clothesline from hell out of nowhere. That literally Bout took the head off of Graves.
But Graves is bringing the fight to Williams at the moment.
Yeah,
they call Brock Graves the American Gladiator for a reason.
Yeah, he's always fighting back to the death is what his mindset is. And I guess being in the Marines, that is going to give you that advantage. And we almost had a near new champion.
Brock Graves coming just inches away.
And then followed up running right into that knee of Cage's.
And that was a stiff knee too. Brock Graves felt every bit of it. I know he did.
And now Luther's slowly rolling his way back into the ring.
It's a slow, methodical approach of Prince Nipster on display.
And what is Cage looking to do over there in the top?
These two don't want to be going after each other and hurting each other, because that will just make this way easier for Luther.
Oh, and he just nailed a Spanish fly.
From the top, that devastating avalanche Spanish fly. Both men felt that one. And did you see Luther? He went in for the cover.
He's almost like a vulture.
He saw that Graves was ripe for the picking, and he thought he could go for the win, but Axl Cage saw through it.
Yeah, he almost had the pickup. And when's the last time you seen Luther all kind of out on his feet? And Luther nails that clothesline from hell.
The sinister clothesline.
And he picks up the win. He retains that championship.
Just like that, he just absorbed a beating and hit that clothesline from hell like it was nothing.
Need I may add, he did it on the wild card, the one that I called.
Axl Cage put up a hell of a fight. So did Brock Graves, but it just wasn't enough to stop Prince Sinister.
Here's what poses the question: is any of these guys gonna be, or is anyone gonna be able to stop Luther?
It would have to take someone that has aggression, strength, and determination. Even then, it might not be enough.
It's almost as if
you just look at his face again.
Just that calm, as we see that smile, that smirk come across his face.
He knows he's won.
And I think deep down that he knows, in whatever black hole, black heart, whatever he's got in him, I think he knows that he is not going to be able to be beaten anytime soon.
It will be a long time before he loses. I think that, and I believe that wholeheartedly. And it looks like we're going to tag team action.
It looks like we're going that way, where we got the Junior Tag Championship on the line against the High Octane GX. GX does like to, if you haven't seen Dragonfire, GX does like to fly around the ring and quickly. Either Damian Anderson and Sabin Carter, it's only a matter of time for these guys. If they don't do it tonight, that they hit the top and pinnacle of tag team wrestling. Costa Nostra, on the other hand, they're just a powerhouse team. They will use their power to get out of anything and everything.
This Tornado Tag Team match, both team members are going to be in the ring at the same time, so that could lead to some interesting situations, to say the least.
Yeah, it very well could be.
Ryan Steele, you've been in many of tag team matches. What's your mentality when it's a Tornado Tag Team match and you have your partner in the ring tag them in? Are you a little more relaxed?
Yeah, to a certain point. Now, the Tornado Tag, you've really got to keep an eye on your partner, because if you're fighting your opponent and your partner's over there getting pinned, you don't. That's a situation you do not want.
Because that could easily lead to the defeat.
Exactly.
So, Ryan, which one's easier for you? A tornado tag or a regular normal tag?
Honestly, I'm going to say a regular tag, because tornado tag, like I said, you got to have eyes in the back of your head. You got to not only watch your opponent, but you got to watch your partner as well. Because if your partner's getting his ass whooped, it's bad for you.
So who you guys think?
That's when the numbers game kicks in.
Exactly.
So who do you think's gonna, just as a mere minute that we've been in this match, who's your guys' pick to win this and walk out of this?
GX.
I think I'm going to agree with Mr. Townsend on this.
Is it because they're just younger and more athletic? Wow. As we just see that single leg flipping, I don't know what the hell these guys did call it, but he just landed on his feet after drop kicking.
Like a modified drop kick.
But landing on his feet is impressive in its own right.
I bet that makes wrestling legends in the back like Joe Rivers freaking jealous. Clothesline a freaking drop kick like that, where he just got back up on his feet.
Right, and doing a backflip while at it. Like, how many competitors in the business nowadays do you know that can do that?
Well, as you know, the wrestlers nowadays, and it seems as if every generation gets a little more athletic and a little more agile, and I figure you've noticed this being a long-time fan of the business.
I mean, yeah, they've gotten a little bit more athletic, but still.
I mean, the toughness isn't there, right? That's what I think. I mean, they're not as tough and gritty as, say, Joe Rivers or Bobby Wade.
And those guys come from an era where you have no other option but to be tough and gritty.
It was part of their training. They were trained rough, and you know this.
Yes, they were, and
the most brutal training regimen known to man, basically.
And that's very accurate and true on the statement. Now it's all flips.
I mean, Joe Rivers, I know he likes to train his pupils like he was trained, and the success has definitely came in for them.
And do you think that gives them the edge in nowadays?
Also is very rough on his trainees. We've talked about it before in Steel Academy, which we're seeing a trainee of his later tonight, his own flesh and blood, but we'll get to that when the time comes.
Yeah, Hunter still is slowly picking up the momentum here at the 2-1 record.
Still more wins than losses.
That's very true.
And if I may comment and put my 2 cents in, as they say, he's doing a lot better. He's asked me what can I do to improve myself.
That's what Costa Nostra wins.
He's asked me if there's any different moves that I know that he doesn't. So he's asking advice he's trying to make himself better. So over time, I think he'll make it.
Well, it took you a while.
It does seem that Joe Rivers, being the owner here in Megalo, does seem to have high expectations for Hunter.
And for his entire roster, for that matter.
His expectations for his roster, it's unparalleled to any other company. And not to say nothing bad about 3WA or NGW, he expects a lot. He brings in the heavy hitters. As most of his roster, it almost takes an army to put them down, to say. As in Luther Williams, which it very well may take a army to beat him.
The Clash of the Kings coming up. Will King and CJ King.
And this is for the European Championship.
Now, Joe Rivers, you know this, one of our partners here at Megalo Worldwide Wrestling. Will King and Joe Rivers know each other very well. Will King, the head of Heel Money.
Yeah, that's very true. And that's one thing I never thought I'd ever say. Will King and Joe Rivers, they've been at each other's throats worse in a short amount of span.
That's an alliance I don't think anyone could have saw coming. Will King, Joe Rivers, Bobby Wade, and they're all managed by J.K. Ross.
Yeah, and then let's not even mention, and then you throw in another legend in this business, Nova Reese. Like, add all of them into one faction. Like, who's gonna stop them?
That stable is the equivalent to the 1992 U.S. Olympic basketball dream team.
I fully don't doubt that 100%, but
now see, I've had encounters with Nova Reese and Will King,
as well as Joe Rivers and Bobby Wade. You faced every member of Heel Money before, Ryan Steele.
Yes, I have, and I've knocked Bobby Wade off twice. So now the encounter I had with Will King wasn't in my favor. Put it that way.
Lost your IWA Universal Championship. I know you hate thinking about it, but it has to be addressed.
And then let's not throw into there shortly after that. The very next pay-per-view, Will King lost the Universal title to Joe Rivers, who then went on to face Bad Boy Witta at March Mania to headline it, where Chris Hunter, the actual former Megalo champion, cashed in the Money in the Bank.
You talk about a very memorable moment in March Mania history. That's one that everyone still talks about today. The cash-in of Chris Hunter.
Now, if I may also comment that Slick Rick has a match later on. I've encountered him on my debut in IWA, and that didn't go in my favor as well.
You got low-blowed in your first match.
That's the welcome to the business, kid.
Slick Rick, I interviewed him about that, and he said that move he called the IWA welcome package.
Yeah, well, I got the full blunt of it.
It's CJ King and Will King. Let's get to the match at hand here, Mr. Play-by-Play.
Now, I mean, like, between the Battle of the Kings, CJ King's has got the speed, Will King's got the power. So which one of y'all thinks? Yeah, that is very true. CJ King's only got a year under his belt. And first originally debuted in APW.
I will say, Will King he's got some strength behind him. He's and the contests that we've had, he's picked me up and thrown me quite a few feet. So yeah.
And someone like you, who at the time was what, 250 almost?
Yes.
Will King, regardless of size, I mean, Will King said it before. It may be very tacky, but it's true. The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Yeah, that's true. Do you think that CJ King's going to be able to retain his championship here?
Will King, a experienced ring veteran, I think Will King's going to walk away with the title.
So you think he's going to become the new?
Yes, my experience with Will King, my
oh dear God, he just suplexed him to the outside.
CJ King lands on solid concrete, but Will King does too. Did you see he's tending to his back? I wonder if Will King has hurt himself.
I think Will King's going to walk away with this one. And I'm partially speaking to our encounters.
Will King has had a decorated career, as you know, former IWA Universal Champion, a key figure in Worldwide Wrestling. He was the final HWA West Coast Champion. Will King has been an unbeatable force for quite a few years.
And that's just in the ring. Then he's got his whole entire music career that he's got under, as you see in the back of his trunks, King Arsenine.
He's made a lot of money in music. He's made a lot of money in professional wrestling. Overall, the guy, I think, has a good weekly paycheck, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, there's no hiding that.
I mean, on top of his funding from J.K. Ross.
He's Will King, and I'm going to have to agree with you. Will King is going to, I'd be shocked if Will King doesn't walk away the new European champion.
He's bringing the fight to C.J. King. C.J. King's barely gotten any offense in the West.
Yeah, he's hardly. He just keeps coming back as we keep seeing that C.J. King don't have that quit button in him, but eventually he's going to have to call it quits on this.
And you wonder if that suplex to the outside is going to play a factor in the whole match.
Will King hurt his own back there, but it seems to be doing fine.
Oh, and a black mass by Will King. And that could be it, ladies and gentlemen. It is. It is going to be it as Will King walks away, the new champion.
Will King systematically decimated C.J. King in that match.
I guess we know who the true king is now.
And you know what they say, hail to the king.
As we see that monstrous suplex to the outside again, that damaged both men. And I think that what may have been the downfall of C.J. King. If he didn't take that, it may have been a little bit longer of a match. But I think the end result was still been the same. Will King walking away, the champ.
Again, another look at that shot to the face. He's definitely seeing Birdie right now.
Birdies are going to be a different story. He's not going to be seeing anything for a while after taking that. But the action so far in this special one-year show of Megalo that's holding deep to especially Rivers, we're going to be seeing his own son up next against Kid Thunder, who is the second generation of Louis C.
Do you think they're backstage watching this match right now?
I'd almost guarantee that they're backstage at the monitor watching, cheering on their sons.
Maybe you can enlighten us. What is the relationship like between Joe Rivers and Louis C.?
It's a mutual respect backstage.
You think they're arguing? Do you think they're getting along?
I honestly think that there's probably a friendly wager that's been placed on this match. So who's walking away the United States champion and who's not.
Have you noticed since Gavin Rivers returned, he has a new look?
Yeah, he's got a new look, a new attitude. He just don't care for anybody.
I heard, now maybe you can confirm and deny this, I think I heard Joe Rivers once that he hardly even recognizes Gavin anymore.
Oh yeah, he said he hardly recognizes him anymore, as Gavin before losing his Megalo World Championship was the life of the locker room. You could say he was always around. Everybody was always around him, and now since he returned after an almost 2-month absence and returned to Dragon Fire, he's kind of just stayed off to his own. It doesn't really talk to anybody. He's just there.
A loner. He's become the lone wolf, you could say.
Yeah.
But you see that technical experience, something he picked up from his father. Kid Thunder picked it up from his father.
Yeah, and I almost bet, like, Kid Thunder, he's a former world champion here. He's the inaugural Dragonfire champion. And now he's the current U.S. champion here. So, I mean, the title reigns in big matches goes in Thunder's favor. But the more training, I would have to say it probably goes underneath Gavin's belt on that. Because, I mean, we all know Joe Rivers doesn't let his students go unless he can 100% vouch that their training is complete.
Would you call Gavin Rivers the black sheep of the family?
No. I would call his younger brother, Austin, the black sheep of the family. Which many don't know Austin, as he was around for maybe a month or so before he decided that this wasn't his calling, is to be a wrestler like his father and his brother.
Could you ever see him maybe giving it another shot here in Megalo? Maybe one day?
Only time will tell. No one really talks to Austin. He's made a backstage appearance every now and then.
Is it true that Joe himself has never spoken to Austin?
He hasn't. Joe hasn't spoken to Austin since the company that he co-founded, CWA, since they were around, and they didn't even last but maybe a year and a half, and then Austin was around for maybe 2 months of that and then left, and ain't nobody's heard from him since then.
But Gavin Rivers with that newly found aggression as well.
Gavin did. He's found an aggression that is unparalleled to nowadays. And it looks like Gavin's setting up for a montage of his father with a curb stomp, almost picking shades of his dad, but not quite good enough to pick up the win. Like it would only.
Was his father's, perhaps?
I'd say perhaps, yeah, not as strong. And that could be because of all the weight loss that Gavin took to drop to come down to the Dragonfire. Because if we remember,
could it be that Joe Rivers has spent more time training his legs?
It very well could be. I mean, Rivers has been using the curb stomp for well over 10 years now as his finisher. So it could be that he just perfected it, and Gavin's still learning it and trying to perfect it, I guess you could say.
The Kid Thunder's still bringing the fight. He's not going down.
Yeah, and that's one thing that Kid Thunder picks up from his dad, Lewis, is Thunder will fight and fight and fight until he exhausts himself of all his energy. I mean, Kid Thunder, he's being defended the title almost weekly here now since winning it off of Nathan Barnett Jr. And he just last week defended it in a Supercharge against Aaron Wade in a TLC match and walked away.
Let me ask you this. You see Gavin Rivers, you see Kid Thunder, two second-generation competitors like your own son. But what do you see in these competitors that may remind you of their parents or think is different than their parents? I guess Ryan.
A Claymore kick followed by a curb stomp coming up. This could be it. Gavin could walk away the U.S. champion now. But he's taking a sweet time. It only gets a 2 count on that.
I think he took too long.
And that could be the
inexperience.
Yeah, the inexperience of not having that his dad does, or most of the other competitors. See Gavin picking up and then delivers a springboard maneuver that
Spanish fly.
showed him the athleticism that definitely his dad couldn't pull off.
Ladies and gentlemen, we don't know where Ryan Steele is. He's somewhere. Did he not? Did he step off the booth? Did you see him step off for a moment? Did he go get a coffee? I mean,
No, when I looked at right next to me just a few mere minutes ago, he was right there. I don't even remember seeing him get up or leave. Like
he just like disappeared unaccounted for.
he did. I mean, here's the sad thing. He did downplay Luther. Could Luther have got a hold of him?
I don't think Luther did get a hold of him. I haven't seen Luther.
I mean, we haven't seen Luther since the end of his match. But I mean,
I want to come back out to the light. It is pretty bright out here today.
I mean, who knows? Luther is sinister, so
he went for the punt kick. I think that would have put away Kid Thunder.
I think it would too. If Thunder would not have rolled out of the way, it would have been over.
Thunder's still bringing the fight, though. Thunder wants this match, wants this win.
Yeah, he don't want to let go of his title, and even when he was world champion, he didn't want to let go of the title. But Riley Saint had to basically pry the title off of his lifeless body, in essence, to take the championship home.
Kid Thunder definitely has determination that is unmatched. I think any competitor here.
I will fully agree with you on that one. That it's unmatched.
Now, I believe is Ryan still back?
Yeah, I'm back. I had to go make some final comments to one of the upcoming competitors in the next match.
That makes sense. We thought maybe possibly Luther got a hold of you.
Nope, I had to do some final preparations, put it that way.
And Gavin picks up the win and becomes the new United States champion.
It took 3 curb stops, though. 3.
And here's the sad thing. It does. It says a lot about Kid Thunder, but unfortunately for Kid Thunder, he will not be getting a rematch.
I'm assuming it's a Megalo rule.
It's a Megalo rule. You lose, back to the back of the line. Work your way back up.
Have you noticed since Vince the Man Palmer lost his world title, he hasn't really been seen?
Yeah, and that's kind of like, what's his planning? What's he up to?
I wish I could tell you. He hasn't even been answering my calls. He just seems embarrassed.
I mean, it very well could be. And like there's nothing to be embarrassed by. He did get beat by Mad Dog X, who's been on a tear lately.
Mad Dog X is an unstoppable force in this business. We can all agree on that. But it's not like he went down without a fight.
No, he kept coming back.
But Gavin Rivers with the win over Kid Thunder. And Gavin Rivers, I have to admit, I'm just sitting here watching all these matches, and Gavin Rivers has proven to be very impressive. I will say
that. And Gavin Rivers throughout his whole entire career, even when he was on the Megalo before he shed all his weight, we don't know the exact weight that he shed, but I don't think it was healthy for him to lose that much weight quickly in a 2-month span. But he was up over the 200 pound. He was like 250, 260.
You'd have to think he went long periods without even eating.
You'd have to think. I think if he would have lost the weight gradually, the effectiveness of the curb stomp would have been there.
And up next, this is the one I think you've been waiting for, the Battle of the Legends. A huge callback between Lewis C. and Slick Rick.
Yeah, I'm anxious for this one.
I can confirm. Well, actually, did you hear what I told SVJ? As you know, I occasionally work with Slick Rick. Have you heard of the Slick Rick Low Blow Challenge?
Yes, I have.
Slick Rick, you have to get low blow by him, and you cannot show a sign of pain or fall to the ground. You have to stand there and no sell it. But could anyone reasonably do this?
If you have a dick, no. But if you're a
Or
ridiculous
vice
coward
versa.
like you, I think you could win it.
Well, the winner gets $1 million.
I mean, even for
Want
$1
to try
million
it?
dollars, I ain't trying it.
I mean, that elbow pad, there are rumors that it has a metal plate in it.
I could very well believe it because Slick Rick, he's one of, if not one, the dirtiest player in this business. Yeah, he's gonna find every cheap way to get out of this.
But Lewis C., I don't think, is going to go down so easily. These two have met numerous times. These two know each other very well.
Yeah, I mean, they know each other very well.
And I'm very familiar with both of them.
You spent your early career in UCW, Ryan Steele, against these two.
I did, respectively. My debut match in IWA was with against Slick Rick.
Oh,
And as I mentioned before, it didn't go in my favor.
Have you stepped in the ring with Lewis C. before?
Yes, I have in HWA.
Now, here's a question. Both of these men, Lewis C. and Slick Rick, they play a big part in Joe Rivers' career. As we know, Rivers has had this 8-year-long rivalry with Slick Rick now. And now they're tag team champions, so now they're partners. And then Lewis C.
Do you think there's a chance they could actually now be through, like, could they be friends through combat, if that makes sense? Like, have they beaten the hell out of each other so much that it's created a bond between the two?
I mean, it very well could be. But, like to mention, like, what I was saying is, like, Lewis C. had the stable called Underground Nation. That was the very first stable brotherhood that Rivers was brought into. So both of these men play a big part in Rivers' career. What do you think's going through his mind now? As he watches, as he watches his tag team partner and one of his old partners.
From Jacksonville, Florida.
Well, I don't know what's exactly going through Joe Rivers' head, but I do think that Joe Rivers is watching with great interest.
Oh, I'm sure he is too, because there's rumors that Lewis C.'s brother, Patrick C., could be making his return back to the business.
Patrick C.'s been, well, AWOL for a long time now.
Yeah, for roughly about 4 years now, ain't nobody really seen Patrick C.
You're a reporter like one of my friends, Gordon Lawler, but let me ask you this. Do you have any information as to where Patrick C. has been? You tend to get the scoop.
No, actually, that's one of the, I guess, the curtains that have never been revealed. Like, he's just vanished off the face of the earth, it seems like.
And this crowd booing the hell out of Slick Rick.
Yeah, this crowd, New Jersey's not a very good place to Slick Rick. He's always getting
Slick Rick's
booed.
been booed in his hometown of Miami, Florida. March Mania this year. He got booed out of the building, and it's his hometown. I mean,
I wonder, does that got to play?
I mean, have you ever heard a crowd actually cheer for Slick Rick?
Yeah. The week after Sinister Order attacked Slick Rick in the back, and hence where the alliance of Slick Rick and Joe Rivers came from. When Joe Rivers came to Slick Rick's aid from the Sinister Order, which honestly could be a death wish for those two. I mean, you got the Sinister Order putting their sights on you. It's only a matter of time.
And you see right there quickly going at each other with technical holds.
Yeah. And I feel like this match is going to be a lot of like that. A lot of technical back and forth. They both know each other very well. Their moveset has not changed very much over the years.
These two know each other very well from all those years going up against each other. You see right there, he had him in a front face lock, and Slick Rick got out of it. It's like he knows very well how to get out of these maneuvers. And look, Lewis C. counteracting one of his own. So,
Wait, we got music playing in the back.
Who the hell? What the hell?
That looks like Victor. Oh my God, Victor Draven is here in Megalo. But what
It
for?
looks like he's not the only 3WA entity here. We saw the U.S. title earlier tonight, but that's Victor Draven. He's also from 3WA, and is he helping Slick Rick?
It
Why
looked
was
like.
he going after Lewis C? What does he want with Lewis?
Or is that even his intention? Was his intention just to cause chaos? We seen the limo pull up that had this mass superstar in.
And it had a 3WA logo on it.
Oh dear God, guys! I just thought of this. This could be very bad for any company out there. What if Luther Williams gets a hold of Victor Draven?
Victor Draven is a monster.
The business as we know it could come to an end.
For those watching right now, I mean, if you're not watching 3WA, well, I've got two things to tell you. Well, one's a question. First thing, what's wrong with you? Secondly, Victor Draven is one of the most unstoppable forces that this business has ever seen.
Now, let's play a little scenario, okay? We know that Luther Williams has Ryan Shaw, he's got Adam Moon, he's got Cody Rage, and then himself, all part of it. What if somehow Luther's gotten a hold of Victor and sent Victor here to mark his...
Well, Victor Draven, if you know anything about those companies, Victor Draven also has a close bond with SNK.
Oh dear God, the thoughts and horrors that could come to this company or this business if they all joined forces as one unit. The business as we know it would change.
Can anyone stop them? Would they ever be stopped?
It would take several million of men to beat them.
You know, I have
Have you noticed, real quick, I hate to interrupt you, Lewis C kicks out of Slick Rick's finishing move. Very few people have actually done that. Lewis C has probably been hit with that so many times that he's just used to the pain.
And he knows how... I don't think it's him used to the pain. I think he knows how to properly roll out of it to where it causes less damage on him.
But Slick Rick right now is putting on a clinic against Lewis C.
He is. Ever since Victor came out, it's been a whole other ball game.
It's been all Slick Rick.
And I can't help but wonder, has Lewis been marked?
If so, by who?
That's the question we're going to have to get down to.
Who wants Lewis C?
now.
And Slick Rick with a win over Lewis C, by the way. Slick Rick, easy work on Lewis C. Do you think this match could have gone differently had Victor Draven not showed up? I mean, it's to the point we can't even really think about the match. All we can think about is Victor Draven.
What's his motive here? Like,
there's got to be a reason.
All I can say is I'm going to mention I had gone down the hallway in 3WA, and he was going the other way. And I can tell you the environment, when you're that close to him, the environment changes 100-fold. It's
and you're
just dark.
pupil Mason Brooks has faced Victor Draven in that Elimination Chamber. And did Mason Brooks tell you anything about stepping in the ring with Draven?
Yes, he said that it said exact same thing. The environment has changed. You get within several inches, and you could just feel.
There's only one guy I know who's actually been able to put away Victor Draven, and that was Corey Quinn. And let me tell you something. I know you weren't there, JR. Corey Quinn had to put a spike in Victor Draven's eye and blind him.
Well, that would explain the scars on his...
I wonder if he can even see out of that eye still, or if he has permanent damage.
I don't know.
And up next, ladies and gentlemen, the Steel Warrior Hunter Steel versus Akira Muda. Ryan, I have a feeling you're going to be a little more vocal during this one.
Yes, I had told him some hints, some tricks, told him if he could pull off any new moves, to try them, to see what he says, and I guess we'll see if he's taking my advice.
Now, JR, what can you tell us about Akira Muda?
His strikes are unparalleled. He
Definitely
strikes with
well-educated and strong style.
Yeah, he's very accurate in the precision on his strikes. And pardon me for. I have just been informed, and I'm sure you two both just heard this coming across the headsets as well, that this match is now a #1 contenders match to the United States title.
So that's the anti-bid. Now I bet Ryan Steele is really, really hoping that Hunter Steele can come away with the win.
And see, and I don't think Hunter's gonna know.
I don't think he knows. I mean, neither of these men know. Do they? Muda, Steele, neither know. Right?
No, because coming into this match, as both men made their way.
Is it true that GM Rivers just confirmed this?
Yeah, Rivers just confirmed that this is. So I don't think any of these men know.
They'll know when they get backstage, I guess.
I'm guessing so. But to follow up backstage, Draven is just staring at a door in a dark hallway. Is just staring at it. We can't see who's on that door.
This is what our camera crews are telling us.
Yeah, we're just being told that he's staring at a door, and it's in a. Yeah, who's behind that door? What's behind that door?
It can only really be one man.
It can't. I want to say. I don't want to say it's him because it could be bad news for this company. I mean, he's already unstoppable, but.
But to the match at hand here, we can talk about this. Ryan Steele, you haven't known Hunter all of his life. Only just a few years, and you two have formed a close bond. And do you think
that is correct? Within a few years, yes, yeah, he's taken to me. I taken him under my wing and trained him.
Now,
I'm still right now, though, on top of Akira Muda. You gotta wonder if these are things that you've taught him, things maybe he's learned on his own, but he's pulling out moves I've never seen you pull out before.
No, right.
In all the years I've managed you.
Right. Here's a question for you. When he first came to Megalo, he had a very simple look, and Rivers spent his own money on his new attire. What's your thoughts on that?
I appreciate Mr. Rivers, and
controversy.
I think
Muda's head was on the rope, and they didn't call a rope break. Is there some unwritten rule we don't know about?
Here at Megalo, you normally try to steer clear of the rope breaks. It's pretty much the ropes are what you see as the barrier, and we try not to go with the rope breaks. But sometimes some of these refs, it's hard to break what they're trained in ref school.
Hunter Steele, if Hunter a moment ago, maybe you can provide a little bit of play-by-play, since that's your job.
And maybe I could, maybe I couldn't. Maybe we're trying to figure out the origins of Hunter that came from the ungodly seed of Ryan Steele over here.
I'm going to act like you didn't say that there, JR.
Look, y'all interrupt my broadcast, my show. You got to know that shots are going to get fired. And as Hunter Steele is going to go in for that pin, and looks like he may get the victory, yes, and become the new #1 contender to the...
Hunter Steele defeating Akira Muda, and Ryan Steele over there has got to be very happy with what he saw, but he's surprisingly quiet about it.
I'm very excited. I don't think he's going to know the news until he gets backstage.
Maybe you want to go tell him?
I think I'm going to let the referees and officials in the back, I'll let them say. He's not going to believe it coming from me.
Now, I do know that at the end of this, the broadcast, or after every show, Rivers holds a company-wide meeting. So that would have to be my assumption on it. I know broadcasters and aren't in that meeting, as they have their own separate meetings afterwards. But we're gonna find out after the show and at the meeting what happens.
Now he did go against my advice once. He did taunt when his kind of got his arrogance got a little bit over him, but he only did that once, so I'm gonna overlook that.
But are you still going to even point it out to him later today at Steel Academy?
Yes, I will. He's probably not going to believe it at first, but yeah. I'll confirm that.
Our double main event, as you know here, double main event, 2 world titles on the line.
And this is one of them. Sandra Cool has been after her world title since coming to Megalo.
He failed against Chris Hunter. He's never faced Mad Dog X.
Yeah, he's failed against Chris Hunter. He's failed even against VIP, who is gone missing, which we're going to have to figure out where he's at.
I did hear Joe Rivers has ordered a wellness check on him.
See, I heard that right before the show. He was originally slated to be on the card, but since no one's heard from him, Rivers took him off the card.
Is it true that VIP is this close to being put in the missing persons registry?
That very well could be. He hasn't been seen for a couple months.
And here we go, though. I'll let you break this one down for us. The World Championship match.
Sander, like I mentioned earlier, Sander's been after this title for roughly 6-7 months now. And if not this one, the Megalo World Championship. Hasn't been able to seal the deal.
Well, here's the thing with Sander Cool, and Ryan Steele can agree. Sander Cool will never do it. Sander Cool is a loser. Sander Cool
cannot
hold his own with the best, and he will not beat Mad Dog X. This is just a spoiler.
When the heat's on, Sander Cool cannot. He cannot do it.
At NGW, he's lost to King Dominator and Bobby Johnson in title matches. Here, he's lost to Chris Hunter. Mad Dog X could be another person on the list of champions that he couldn't dethrone.
And that's the thing. Sander, and I'll agree with you, Sander can't win the big one. Sander's been in the big one at least 8 times and hasn't been able to win it.
I forgot to mention this, he lost to King Red in a title match in 3-dub. At the Texas Stampede event, I heard you watched that. Also,
and he even took a loss to me in 3-dub.
Ryan Steele's only 3-dub match he lost. Yeah, Sander Cool lost to Ryan Steele.
And I'm going to correct you on that, CFT. That wasn't his only match. He was in I believe, Battle Royal to determine the number 1 contender to the hardcore title, where he lost to Daniel Roberts.
Well, his only one-on-one singles.
Well, yes, that is correct, but that's not his only match. You'd imagine you'd know your talent a little bit more.
Well, 3-Dub has a conspiracy against CFT.
Let's be honest, what company don't?
You're probably surprised more companies aren't against me.
I mean, I'm surprised that Justice, I don't even think Justice was in his right mind frame when he brought you on board as part of the managerial staff. Or even at...
But what did you think about me retiring the old, you-know-what?
The old bastard? I mean...
I was like, yeah, we'll use the lighter Kurdish word there. Yeah, old bastard.
I mean, I don't think he would have gotten it done if it wasn't for Rivers.
I mean, but let me ask you this. Are you at all surprised that Joe Rivers didn't go after CFT and try to cost him his career? And Joe Rivers said where he wanted to save EFED from CFT.
I mean, I am a little bit surprised, but do I think it's far done and over with? No. I mean, anybody that knows Rivers' career at all knows that he don't let just things go. He always...
Do you think he's just wanting to make and his own knee suffer a little longer?
I think you want. I think. I want to say it's more of leering you into a false sense of security.
Just because my career is resuming?
Yeah, I think he probably wants to let you know that you're on top of the world. So you think, but it's all part of his master plan. I mean,
either way to this match right now, Mad Dog X on top of Sander Cool.
Yeah, but just right before that, we've seen that suicide dive that has, I mean, and it's been all Sander in this match for the most part.
Mad Dog back in the ring. Win the title, or cannot win it by count.
No, he can't win it by count, but he almost had a victory there to become a new champion. To finally realize his dream of being a world champion.
Well, he did it in APW.
That's true. Yeah, we don't talk about Mr. Amazing here. Mr. Amazing, guys, we all know that recently was blacklisted.
But I'm assuming it's fine in this context.
In this context, I'm sure it will be all right, just as long as Mr. Rivers don't go back and rehear it and review our commentary. I'm sure we'll be just fine. If he does, we are all in a world of shit.
He'll probably curb stomp the entire broadcast department and then go back to the production truck and curb stomp them too.
Yeah, because I am honestly surprised that this has not, it was not bleeped out. It's almost a CM Punk WWE thing.
Mad Dog X are beating the hell out of Sander Cool, and you see those clotheslines?
And, yeah, and they look stiff as hell too. So we don't know how they feel, and I'm not wanting to get in there and find out. CFT says, I mean, you can go find out. You can go find out how these clotheslines feel.
I'll pass. I think Ryan Steele will pass as well.
Yep.
Oh, no, he's going for that vertebraker. Oh, my God, he dropped him in the neck. Sander Cool might have a broken neck.
This has got to be over, ladies and gentlemen. It's got to be. And somehow Sander kicks out of it.
The heart of Sander Cool cannot be underestimated, but I will say this. He is a punching bag, and that's all he is.
Yeah, and he's a very...
right there, the bookend.
It's over. Vertebraker and then a bookend.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I'm not understanding.
Two finishing moves. Two finishers, and Sanders...
And I don't know. Sanders a very good punching bag. We'll leave it there.
I just guess he doesn't want to lose another title match.
You think he possibly can hear us in the ring talking trash about him and calling him? Oh, God.
No. Sander Cool
oh, my God.
On the line to win the title. I told you, Sander Cool's an idiot, and there's further proof of it.
I mean, it could be his blonde hair. That's the only thing that makes sense.
I mean, remember when he used to go around in that ugly gold suit?
Oh, dear God. Let's not put that in the fans' heads. Nobody wants to imagine that again.
We all have PTGSD, post-traumatic gold suit disorder.
I mean, you're right on that. And if Sander wants to win this, he's got to get Mad Dog in the ring.
Let's get in a draw. I mean, you got to wonder what Sander's even thinking right now.
I don't think he is thinking. That's the thing.
Right now, this match is going to end by countout.
It is. It's going to end by countout. Because Sander doesn't know how to think. He's going to end this with a draw. Like, how stupid can he be?
He's going to go bitch to Rivers. Have draw. He's going to go bitch to Rivers. Well, he's probably going to restart the match.
I would not.
Restart it, shockingly.
Shockingly, Rivers probably told him to hurry up and get this on. But up
we
next,
got a main event to get to.
Yeah, we got a main event to get to, and it's for the Megalo World Championship.
Two unstoppable beasts.
And if you remember, if we want to go back, I want to say about a couple months ago, Drago defeated 5 other men in a elimination chamber match.
What about Brian Brady since he's gotten here? Never lost. He's beaten Drago twice.
That's one thing we're going to find out. Can he do it again when it actually matters?
Do we have to talk about Brian Brady? Do we really have to talk about him, really?
Well, he's in the match.
I mean, we kind of do.
I don't like the guy either. But,
he's in the main event. I don't like either of these men, but unfortunately, we got to talk about them.
Well, what do
we
you
got
think
a
about
German
Brian
Nazi.
Brady's, what do you think of Brian Brady's escapades with women? He's made them very public.
It's humiliating to women. That's all it is to say about that.
But do you think Brian Brady actually cares?
I don't think he does, and I think he may even be exaggerating by 100-fold of how many women he's
It seems as if every night he has a date, and I bet he'll have more than one date tonight if he wins that title.
I'm sure he probably supposedly will.
Flock to the world champion.
I mean, and then we got Drago. Like, people know this backstory of Drago, where his parents were found snapped in half and kind of folded, where like a toy.
You see Brian Brady, that shirt says, "Try me, I'll make you famous." Brian Brady's biggest thing that he may be, smooth, as they say in his ring announcers. Like the ring announcer says, super smooth. I mean, with women, that's why he has them say that. But Brian Brady is an ass kicker first and foremost. Brian Brady is not afraid to get into a fight.
Right, and there's no taking that away from him. Brian Brady likes to fight, and it's what he's good at.
He's found this calling.
But on the other hand, we got Drago, who is just in NGW and APW have just been a beast. I mean, and that's not even forget to mention when Ignite was called ICW Ignite, went on an undefeated.
By IWA.
Correct, and the only reason why Drago's not world champion there is because he stepped away. He relinquished that title. There probably would be nobody else.
He could still be champion right now.
Exactly. I mean, he had a grip hold on Ignite.
But Brian Brady, I think, has proven to be the biggest threat to Drago yet.
And that very well could be. And I agree with you on that. Like, he is currently right now the biggest threat. But when it comes to title pictures and title shots, Brian Brady is untested. And it's his uncharted water for him. Drago has been in multiple title shots and title pictures. So he has the upper hand in this one.
Brian Brady has never had a championship match, let alone a world title match. I mean, but Joe Rivers apparently sees something in Brady.
I don't know if it's so much to see something in Brady, because I know he does not like Brady at all. I think it's just the record that Brady has speaks for itself, and that he is undefeated. And here in Megalo, we do go by the win-loss records. So, I mean, do
you ever think Joe Rivers would actually face a guy like Brian Brady?
I mean, he's been in the ring with Drago. And
a man who he knows he managed in ICW, or IWA, as it's known as now.
Yeah, like he got destroyed in UCW.
Both sides.
Yeah, so it's none of it's.
Drago quickly trying to outpower Brian Brady, but Brady not taking it.
I mean, in all honesty, if anybody's gonna outpower Brady, it's gonna be Drago.
Have you seen that Brady has a response for everything right now?
Yeah, he does. And I think it could be over the month that these guys have been squaring up one-on-one, if not one-on-one, like coming nose to nose.
See that shot to the back of the head? Oh.
Yeah,
that was stiff.
But it's like, I think these guys know each other well from the appearances these guys got. And Drago, for some odd reason, or just picking him up, and it looks like he's just going to carry him around and show off his power instead of.
Takes advantage of it.
Yeah, he's showing off instead of doing what he knows how to do.
And I think that's going to be a critical error if he keeps this up.
And it very well, I think it could be too, because, I mean, let's not keep in mind, as devastating as Drago is, Drago's only a rookie. He's not even been around for a year. It's been more like 4 or 5 months that he's been around.
Brady, shorter time than that.
Yeah, so, I mean, Jesus. It's just proven that Megalo is breeding the future of this company. And as
Brady got tossed.
Yeah, I was going to say, Brady just got tossed by the side of the head.
But Brady didn't even feel it.
No,
he kicked the back of the head. He's targeting Drago's head.
Yeah, I think that may be the best thing for him. And he goes for that
spinning stunner. Oh, that backstab, the tilt-a-whirl backstab.
And he nails it.
Brady looking good right now.
And he is. And
he's that spinning stunner, but Drago saw it coming. I guess after 2 matches, you learn to anticipate these things.
Yeah, I mean, oh, Jesus. I don't know if you just missed it, but he's over there taunting and just tossing him all over out to the outside, and Brady just turns him inside out with that moon stomp.
And he throws up the X like to call the medics. And right into the turnbuckle, the ring post outside.
He's just
destroying it. There's no better way to put it.
Yeah, there's just no, he has an answer for everything.
I don't think Brady cares about the title. He cares about kicking Drago's ass.
I think that's all he cares about. And we're up to a 6 count now.
They stared each other down for a moment.
Here's the thing. Like, are we going to have 2 main events end in a draw?
Rivers going to make this restart. We know he will.
He's got to be. He's not going to end the show like this. He can't.
The 1-year anniversary.
Hey, is he really going to just let this end like that? Hold on.
I don't think Rivers is.
I'm being told that we're going to restart this match. Rivers is not going to have the main event in.
I'm hearing in my headset, there must be a winner.
Did
you hear that too?
I heard that too, that he is not going to end the 1-year anniversary show on a countout.
He says we're going to go up until we have a winner.
Yeah, he says there's no way that he's going to end in a draw.
So do you think he'll keep restarting until we have a winner? Like one winner?
As long as we have one winner, I don't think that we're going to end the night. I think it is going to continue to keep going back and forth.
Brady with a dominant start over Drago, though.
And it stunned him, it looked like.
Drago in, a precarious situation, you could say.
Yeah, you don't see Drago into this position very often. Or if at all.
He's trying to wear down Brady, but is it really enough?
I think it's going to take more than that.
Brady, did you see that? He used the ropes to his advantage there.
Yeah, Drago quickly got out of it.
But Brady
just chopped him right down the ropes in the corner. And back and forth, we're seeing these guys go.
I don't think Brady wants to be technical anymore. He just wants to fight.
Yeah, I think after that decision to restart it, he is not a happy camper and just wants to fight.
Fire under both of their asses.
Yeah, because now these guys, I don't have no idea what these guys are going to do.
They're fighting.
Yeah, it's done. And Drago just tossed Brady outside, and we've seen Drago do it several times.
That might be it for Brady.
With that powerbomb on the apron, you're correct. That might be
the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, because I mean he just targets the back.
If it ends again out here, is Rivers going to restart it again?
I don't know.
What the hell's going to happen if Rivers?
As Sander pointed out, I've just been told Sander pointed out a draw. He let his anger get the best of him. I don't think he let the anger get the best of him. I just don't think he was paying attention, and I think that's where his downfall is.
Fatal mistake.
I think that's always his fatal mistake.
Brian Brady, I don't think cares about winning. I just think he cares about winning the fight, not the wrestling.
Yeah, I think as long as he can make someone hurt, he's okay with it. And Drago wisely rolling out.
He takes a sick pleasure. It's like a sick pleasure to him.
It almost is.
Bomb, he calls that.
And Drago wisely rolling out. And just bitch slaps Brady.
I don't think Brady liked that.
I don't think either. And like, let's be honest, who's had the audacity to just bitch slap him?
I mean,
nobody.
Brady, did you see him start to fight back, like elbow to the head after that? That looked extra stiff.
Yeah, he as they call it, a receipt. It was given back to Drago after just getting slapped.
Is Brady going to go for the count-out win?
Champion. Yeah, like
he's decided to go back out.
Almost that.
Drago sends Brady back in. He's like, "We're ending this in the ring."
Yeah. Like, these guys are just gonna beat the hell out of each other until nobody can stand. And again, Brady throwing up that X.
DDT. Oh my God, this is brutal.
It is. It's almost hard to watch. As it unfolds in front of our eyes, like the brutality of this match is unparalleled to everything else that we've seen today.
And did you see that suplex on concrete?
And Drago just sacrificing himself for some reason. Like,
at what cost?
Why?
Has he lost his mind?
He has to. Or does he have something?
Brain
else?
Damage, concussion?
Like, I mean, he did get dropped on the hardest part of the ring on that apron.
With a DDT, may I add.
Right, so it had the velocity and force of that.
But Drago's still fighting. I mean, he's not quite out of it. Only mentally. I don't think he's here mentally.
And takes a moon stop and just kicks out of it. Or kicks up.
Oh my God, that stomp again. You saw that, but Brady. Oh, got another one.
Drago's just not caring. Here's the thing, this cannot possibly end in another. Drago goes back into the ring. He's gonna cake. No, I was gonna say he was gonna take the count-out victory, but I guess he isn't.
I guess he decided against it. I don't think he wants to retain that way.
I honestly, I don't think he cares how he retains it. I think he just wants to.
I think it's more about ending Brady's career.
I think it is too. Ending If you didn't notice, if you're not noticing, look at Brady setting up for his finisher, and just runs right into a knee.
But he's staggering, but Brady's still calling. He didn't feel that knee.
No, I think it staggered him a little bit, but that's about it.
Not considerably.
Not enough.
Okay, see breaking those eyes.
Brady is playing dirty now, and I think both of these guys are. Desperation. I don't know. Trying to blind the opponents.
Have you ever seen Drago get beat the hell up like this at this level?
No.
This is a war.
But both of these men are just reversing each other's moves left and right. Oh,
this could go to either man.
Drago's got him kicking up again, and Drago throws him up in the air, and he's got him. This could be it for Brady. Can Drago finally beat the thorn in his side? And no, he only gets a 2 count and close.
No, it's not that you were unlucky, Sander. You were just stupid.
And ladies and gentlemen, we got a new champion. It's got to be Brian Brady.
Hell has frozen over.
Oh, dear Lord.
I don't think we're ever going to hear the end of this.
No,
oh, my God.
And Drago surprisingly raising his hand. Just
they shake.
After beating the living hell out of each other, they shake hands. Like,
what a way to end, though. I mean,
who would have thought?
Bond by combat?
I guess. I mean, look back
I don't
over
know how Rivers is going to feel about this, though.
I don't know. I think he's gonna be. He may be happy as long as one person walked away winner. But to recap over the show, to start off, we had Rivers forcefully taking the title away from DTM and 3WA and bringing it to Megalo.
Now, I know I haven't been very talkative during this match, but I want to bring up the point. Do you think Drago raised Brady's hand because he has actually met his match?
Hard telling. I am not going to get too close to Drago. Drago's a big, angry man all the time. If I had to speculate a guess to an answer to that, I'd say, yeah, he probably met his match. But the thing that lanes up is, who's the next to step up to Drago's title?
You mean Brian Brady's title?
That's correct. After so many months of saying Drago, force to habit. But, yeah, who's going to step up to Brian Brady? I mean, as we go and look over the records of the World Title Division, we got Chris Hunter, who hasn't been seen in forever. He's 4-3 right now.
And Brady has a win over him.
That's correct. Brady's got a win over him. We also got Slick Rick, who's 3-6, so he's not anywhere right now.
And they've never met.
That's right. And then we got Gage Black, who just recently debuted in Lit, who is a monster of a man. He's at 2-1. We got Max Steele, who's 2-4, and then again Niles Dyer, who's 2-0, and then Lewis C at 3-4. So it's gonna be anyone's game, and I wouldn't be surprised if Rivers don't hold a battle royal or something to give the advantage to the winner wins the championship or wins a title shot. But
and I bet we're going to hear probably a word from Joe Rivers here soon on his thoughts on the show, and more particularly Brian Brady winning the title, and plus maybe his own thoughts on bringing the title to Megalo, the U.S. title of 3WA.
Yeah. And as we go back to a recap, the show, the 1-year anniversary, and a hell of a show by far. Many upsets and shockings. Like, we'll start off with Joe Rivers versus DTM. Like, who would have thought going into this that Rivers would have, by his own hands, ripped the title away from 3WA?
Well, I mean, he's still a 3WA competitor. Joe Rivers is contractually obliged to defend the title in 3WA.
Yeah, that is true on that. So does that mean that the 3WA management staff, because we know that Rivers only had a certain appearance, and he reached that certain appearance in his contract at critical.
By leading to the in-ring retirement of the president of the company.
Yeah, so does that mean the 3WA staff is going to offer another contract to Rivers? Or how's that going to go? I mean, I guess we're going to find out here soon over what's going to happen there.
But I am looking at this. Joe Rivers, I'm hearing there are rumors, maybe you can check into this, the Joe Rivers United States Championship Open Challenge on every episode of 3WA Danger Zone. He's apparently wanting everyone to step up to the Curb Stomp Messiah and see if they can take that title from him.
I will definitely check into that. I mean, it would not surprise me if he does something like that. He did it with the one of the titles over in IWA. He had an open challenge, and he was very successful at doing it. But, I mean, the only time we're going to tell, I mean, I'm sure that he's going to hijack the 3WA page or website and all that, and we can only imagine what's going to happen then and there. But as we move,
I don't think he'll be quiet.
Oh no, I don't think at all he'll be quiet. Rivers is been very vocal about beating DTM, and in the past 3 appearances. Oh, now 3. He's 3-0 against him. Does DTM think that? Could DTM be thinking that Rivers now has his number?
I'd have to ask, but
I mean, because
maybe DTM sees it as pure luck.
I mean,
Maybe he had an off day. DTM did look off. We both know this.
I mean, let's put the numbers in fact. All right, the first time they met here in Megalo, he beat him, of course, with the not with the move, but with the slap around, hurt around the EPAD World. And then he beat him again at Critical Collision, but this time at Critical Collision, he beat him by countout. And now he beat him by pinfall here. So that's 3-0 in the past 3 matches these guys have had. Can he now be in DTM's head?
I don't know, but 3WA, unlike Megalo, does have the automatic rematch clause for the most part.
That's
so we
very
could
true.
be having Rivers and DTM number 4 at the Crossfire pay-per-view in 3WA. Or at the 4th of July special, one of the two. I could see Joe Rivers, defending the U.S. title on the 4th of July against DTM.
That very well could. He could. We don't know. We'll find out.
There would be, no pun intended, there would be fireworks in that match.
You're absolutely right on that. But moving forward, we had that triple threat for the United States Championship. Honestly,
Luther Williams, Prince Sinister mowed through Axel Cage and Brock Graves like it was nothing. Like he was tossing these 2 men around like they were rag dolls. They basically made it into a handicap situation, but their downfall was fighting each other. And Luther Williams came away with the win with a devastating clothesline, decapitating Cage.
There's just no doubt. The cards were stacked against Williams to win this, and he still found a way to overpower. I mean, well, there was no way of overpowering. The dude's strength is unparalleled to anybody else on the roster. But Ryan, you said that Axel Cage was going to win this. Like, what's your thoughts on?
Well, usually the wild card usually comes into play, and usually the wild card usually comes out on top. And in this case, it was too much for Axel Cage.
And I believe it's honestly the inexperience of Cage. Cage just recently coming onto the scene. I mean, and so is Williams. Williams debuted in an open challenge and ripped the title off of Max Badel's dead cold body, it seems like. Like, since then, we haven't really heard much from Max Badel. Like, is this just parallel of what happens when you step one-on-one for the title or at all with Luther Williams?
I would say so.
Like, I don't know. I guess we're going to find out what's next. I mean, in the U.S. title division, we got Ahmed, who's 1-3. We got Hunter, that's 3-3. We got Loetchlin Boone, 1-2. And Brock Graves, which we just see, which he won't be getting a title shot for a minute. He's got to work his way back up at 5-1. We got Landon Moore, the fat ass that has now started this campaign of Fat Lives Matter, at 2-2. Axel Cage at 2-1. And then Grim Graves at 0-2.
I mean, is it true that Landon Moore has been going to these rallies with fat people and supporting this cause?
Unfortunately, yes.
He's been seen everywhere, demonstrating with these picket signs. And
I mean, he's been over in Matt Steffi's promotion, UWA. Just he won the cross-branded series of matches. He won it for Megalo alongside Jacob Cross, which unorthodox pair, but we all know the strength of Jacob Cross.
And Landon Moore, for that note.
Yes, Landon Moore. He's a part of the Fat Lives Matter movement.
To say the least. He's weird. He smells. I think he has Cheez-It crumbs in his fat rolls.
Yeah.
But he is just disgusting.
He's disgusting. He smells like a rotten corpse is what he smells like. If you've ever had the opportunity to be up next to him, wear a gas mask for future
Brian
reference.
Brady said, Landon Moore smells like a Filipino with a bad case of the clap.
I would not know what that smells like.
Apparently,
right,
Brian Brady would.
I had just gotten a message. Apparently, Hunter Steele is throwing a celebration party for his win tonight. So I'm going to. He wants me to come, so I'm going to sign off and go join his celebration party for his match. This is Ryan Steele signing off for Dragonfire. This is CFT, and
I'm stuck. What are you talking about?
You've lost your mind.
They're still going to be there. It's CFT and J.R. Murphy. Ryan Steele signing off. I'm going to go join my little boy's win, and I will.
He's not
see
little.
you guys.
When you met him, he had facial hair.
Learn your kid, damn it. Learn your kid.
But anyway, my boy won his match today, so I'm going to go join his celebration. So Ryan Steele signing off, and y'all have a good one.
Yeah, I'll see you back at the academy.
Well, CFT to move on with our recap also. The GX versus Costa Nostra match. Upset or just you've seen it happening in the long run?
Costa Nostra definitely did pull up the upset. It was an upset win for them. It really was. I didn't really see it coming, especially with GX being this high-flying, fast, athletic team. And Costa Nostra came out of nowhere with not only high-flying moves, but pure strength to pull off the win.
Yeah, and I agree. I thought that GX put themselves in the position to win it. And I don't know if it's the lack of the experience or not, but Costa Nostra did pick up the win.
If you check, I believe Brian Brady issued a statement in the NGW forums. Perhaps you would like to say this, because I don't know if I want to say this on broadcast.
I don't know if I want to say it on broadcast, but I will PG rate it for that sense in case any kids are listening. The females want to really get on top of the Megalo World Champion, Brian effing Brady. Well,
I think he's pretty happy.
I would say that he's pretty happy. Now the European Championship match. We're gonna quickly move away from Brian Brady. We'll talk about that in a minute. Will King and CJ King, the Battle of the Kings. Shocker or upset?
I wouldn't say it's a shocker or an upset. Will King just has the experience, has the strength advantage over CJ King, and Will King just put his skills to the test against CJ King. CJ King definitely tried to bring the fight, and that's where I got the statement that Will King put his skills to the test. However, Will King could not keep CJ King down for the longest time. CJ King kept coming back and coming back and coming back and wanting more. And Will King kept giving him more to the point where CJ King couldn't take it anymore, and Will King came away with a victory.
Now, I'm going to interrupt you there. I just heard from 3WA management, and at their facilities...
Is this a direct quote?
No, it is more of a picture. Imagine this, being so ticked off that you put a hole through your floor.
Is that what Jacob Justice did?
Jacob Justice and the management staffing of 3WA is so pissed off at DTM that they have literally tore apart the floor in rage, where you can now see the support beams of the floor through. They are highly pissed off, to say the least.
I guess 3WA corporate headquarters is in desperate need of a renovation now.
That's going to be remodel or something. And Gavin Rivers, Kid Thunder, battle of the second generation stars for the United States Championship.
Gavin Rivers, I projected from the very beginning, would come away with a win. Gavin Rivers' newly found attitude was definitely on display. His aggression, his speed, his technicality, it was just too much for Kid Thunder, though Kid Thunder absorbed not one, not 2, but 3
Three
curb
curb
stomps.
stomps.
That is very commendable by Kid Thunder.
I will give him that. And Kid Thunder, he's, as long as I've known him, as long as he's been signed with this company, and even before this, he's always found a way to keep battling. I just think that Gavin Rivers was too much for him at this point in time. And then the match that stunned us all, and
the Battle of the Legends it was supposed to be.
So that Victor Draven appeared. I can confirm from what we have been seeing on our camera crews that Victor Draven was at that door. We still don't know who was at that door in that dark hallway, but he has now entered it. And
we saw this man. People may not have seen him before. A grotesque-looking figure, scars around his eyes, a deformed face. The guy, I mean, he's chiseled in stone when it comes to his physique. But for those who have never seen him, is an unstoppable force in this industry. And I guess we'll see where he goes in Megalo. But I think Victor Draven's going to go a long way with that aggression he has.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you on that. But the question is what was it? Just Lewis C marked, or was the whole entire, or both men that was in this match marked?
Could it just be the legends and heroes of the past being targeted by Victor Draven? If not just Victor Draven, I don't think, and we can both agree with the door, the way he was acting, Victor Draven is not the only person responsible.
No, I 100% agree with that. I can agree with you on that. That he's not fully 100% responsible for it. What's he doing here? We don't know. I mean, I reached out to 3WA management, and they had no idea he was going to be here tonight. They did not send him.
They never hear from Victor Draven. Victor Draven shows up on his own accord. Like, we can't really do anything to control Draven.
And that's the thing, is nobody knows. I mean, and I guess only time's going to tell of what is happening. That door in that dark hallway, it just points to Luther Williams. That's what it points to.
Could it be that Luther Williams, in order to make a future in this business, wants to destroy the past?
I mean, I don't think anybody's going to step up and stop him.
I mean, I don't think Joe Rivers himself would go after Luther Williams.
I mean, I think whoever does it, whatever legend
Lewis C. I mean, if Lewis C. is marked, and he's marked by Luther Williams, I don't even know if the legend Lewis C. can hold his own with Luther Williams.
I mean, we know that we already do know that Slick Rick has been marked. As we seen the Sinister Order a few weeks back attack and backstage Slick Rick. So we know he's been marked, but nothing's really come apart or upon it yet.
The better question is, what legend is next?
I don't know.
I mean, we have so many legendary figures around here. I mean, if you were Lewis C's brother, would you even want to come back with his brother being marked by Luther Williams?
I mean, it could just, if I was Patrick C, no, I would say as far as close. I mean, the one of the bigger stories, and I've just been informed, is that our special guest, or one of our special guests, never showed up, and that's Ricky Armstrong. No call, no nothing. He just didn't show up. And anybody that knows Ricky Armstrong knows that he doesn't do that. Knows that that's not him.
On top of that, I'm getting reports right now that they went to go to Wade Wrestling Academy. Bobby Wade's nowhere to be found.
Yeah, like Bobby Wade was supposed to be here. Another one that didn't show up and that we have no idea where he's at. And coincidentally, everything that weird that's going on around here today with Victor Draven showing up.
Ricky Armstrong was supposed to be here to represent APW, Bobby Wade for IWA.
Yeah.
They were supposed to sit front row. You see those 2 empty seats. We see them here from our desk. Well, we see more empty seats now that people are starting to pile out. But we see the seats that say reserved.
Yeah, and then
they've been empty the entire show.
Ever since before the even opening bell rang and leading up to the time for showtime, Rivers has been waiting around in his office for one of his special guests, and even after he ripped the title from 3WA, went back to his office and is still waiting around. Was waiting around all the way up until here just recently, which I've been given word that he
Oh,
left
you're
that.
not.
He's been waiting for Matt 8-Star to show up, but Matt 8-Star has not showed up.
You need to hear this. I'm just getting reports right now. Bobby Wade, he's been found, in a pool of blood.
Who could be a part of this?
A pool of his own blood. I mean, he's alive. They say he'll live, but the old guard has fallen.
I mean, and we are, well, we truly are, and I've said it in multiple broadcasts that we're entering the era of the dark era. But I think tonight signified the
Bobby
start.
Wade found in his own blood. This is just sickening, and we can both agree.
I can agree. Bobby Wade is a legend in this business, and
And
the
I
old
think
guard is falling.
no, I mean, no, I don't like Bobby Wade. You probably do. I mean, I hate Bobby Wade. You know how I feel about Bobby Wade. I'm not going to wish him well, but I figure you will probably send him your well wishes.
Well, upon Megalo, we will send IWA a condolence letter, and we will also send Bobby Wade's family a basket.
He's not going to die.
Well, I mean, he's not going to be a parent, and he was contracted out to us tonight through.
I mean, maybe condolences of the death of his career.
Well, I mean, the point is we got to get down to the matter of as journalists to find out who's behind these attacks, and
I mean,
we're in the dark era. There's just no part. We're now, and I would almost go far as to say we're now in the order of sinister.
I'm reading this right here. Maybe you can confirm it, deny it. I'm hearing that Luther Williams, through his official Sinister Order social media, is challenged any E-Fed legend who will step up to him next week.
I am getting the same one. I can only believe that this is him. And wait, let's go back to the. We're getting breaking news coming in. Oh, this is bad. The door that Draven walked into is now opened up, and out comes Draven,
Recognized,
and yeah, out comes Draven and Luther Williams walking out that door. We're in some bad shape, bad shape. Luckily for Hunter Steele and Akira Muta, they're over on Dragonfire. They ain't got to deal with this.
Now, Sander Cool saying a new guard needs to rise. Sander Cool, if we were making a new guard, I wouldn't even ask you to carry the damn bags.
Yeah, Sander, I think you may be outmatched on this one.
I mean, we got everyone here in EFED, like, I mean, we've seen some legends in this business. Joe Rivers, Michael Blaze, Lewis C., and a handful of these guys have already met the Sinister Order. I mean, we've seen them hijack HWA broadcasts when they took over the live chat. These guys are everywhere, and yet they're nowhere.
Yeah, they have that distinct, ability to, like you said, be everywhere and nowhere at the same time. It just leads me to a question: are they the ones that were behind the attack on Bobby Wade? Are they the reason why Matt 8-Star ain't here and Ricky Armstrong ain't here?
I'm hearing that next week, it looks like we may have an accepted challenge.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's been accepted. One person, he's not really necessarily part of the old guard, but he wants to come in next week and fight Luther Williams. He's just waiting on Joe Rivers to give him the go-ahead. Devil Dog.
Oh, boy. Well, we'll find out. Joe Rivers, I almost bet we'll reach out to Devil Dog, find out. Devil Dog may be the last hope, the last standing. I mean, as you said, he's not really the...
Well, what about... He's not the only guy standing from the old guard. I mean, I don't think he would ever come here. He's a very busy man, but a certain Bison.
I mean, Bison very well, I mean, you never know. Bison could, but he could not. Like, at this point in time, we don't really know what's going to happen anymore.
Anyone could show up at any given time by the looks of things.
Well,
It's Megalo. Anything can happen here.
exactly. We also got, I mean, moving on to brighter news for Dragonfire, I guess. Sander Cool, Mad Dog.
Ended in a draw.
Yeah. So what's gonna become of that? Who's
Sander
that?
Cool's an idiot. I mean, there's no better way to put it. He screwed himself. Sander screwed Sander. I have no sympathy whatsoever after that.
I mean, could we see Caleb Shaw finally get a world title shot?
The Hands of Steel versus Mad Dog X would be a hell of a match, and I would die to see it on pay-per-view.
Oh well, I mean, the only time's gonna tell. Like I said, like Caleb Shaw hasn't been seen for a couple weeks. He's kind of been laying low, which I mean, Caleb Shaw does do that back from even in the old UCW days. He's just kind of lays low for a little while and then just appears with a huge impact.
You know what they say, Caleb Shaw works in mysterious ways.
Yeah, that's very true. And then finally, the grip hold that Drago has had over Megalo has been lifted as Brian Brady beats Drago to become the new world champion.
Did anyone actually see this coming? Brian Brady may have had 2 wins over Drago, but that was probably one of the greatest Megalo matches I've ever seen. You cannot deny that.
No, I can I actually. Well, I've seen one, and that was to much to
Oh, wait a
give
minute.
this more on his credit.
Sander Cool challenges me to a last man standing match in Megalo. Here's the thing, I think Joe Rivers will agree. No one wants to see a million last man standing matches between CFT, myself, and Sander Cool. One's enough.
I'm sure. I'm sure he's great. Wait, hold on. Oh, CFT, you may not like this. I've just been informed privately that Rivers has got an idea and thinks that Sanders onto something, but he's going to create something devious for you guys, and it will happen at the next Megalo pay-per-view. What type of match?
What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know. Sander pitched the idea, and Rivers are like, huh? You know what? It's a great idea. So in Megalo, yeah, look. I'm just finding this out. I've been right here next to you this whole time.
What the hell is a torture chamber match?
Don't ask. Rivers has been in all sorts of
matches. That's what I'm getting here. Torture chamber. I'm not making this up. A Hell in a Cell. Last man standing.
Oh, a last man in hell.
Iron Man match?
I'm guessing. I don't know.
Multiple last man standing. Like, who the hell is going to get up from that? I mean, well, me, of course, I'm going to destroy Sander inside that cage and survive because, I'm better than Sander Cool.
Well, I mean, look, you guys have fought over and over. That's NGW, 3WA. Rivers has got something planned for you all that's, well, not going to be pretty for either of y'all. Let's just put it that way. But
that's
no,
only part of it.
Yeah, but no, I do agree with you. No one saw this actually coming, Brian Brady winning it. I mean, it's his first world title shot, and he walks away. So, I mean, I guess we're going to see what the future holds for Brian.
Well, either way, I think that'll just about do it for us, won't you think?
Yeah, I think that'll be doing it for us on behalf of CFT and myself. Thank you for joining in this 1-year anniversary show of Megalo. We'll tune in next week and catch all the action.